Now at 10, the state of Missouri carries out the execution of an inmate tonight. Plus, authorities in southwest Missouri discover a suspicious device during a traffic stop. And we're less than 24 hours away from the launch of our streaming service, KOAM Plus.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
The state of Missouri carries out the execution of Marcellus Williams by lethal injection tonight. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The execution came shortly after the U.S. Supreme Court rejects a request from Williams' attorney to delay. Williams had maintained his innocence in the 1998 stabbing death of Felicia Gale in St. Louis. He was pronounced dead at 6:10 this evening. Earlier efforts to halt the execution were denied yesterday by the Missouri Supreme Court and Republican Governor Mike Parson. Dozens gathered at the Missouri State Capitol Rotunda to protest this evening's execution.
How do we teach that killing is wrong by killing? I'm a volunteer at the Jefferson City Correction Center, the prison, and the men I know out there are human beings. Killing them as a result of things they've done in the past, they don't deserve that. We're better than that as a state.
Marcellus Williams' execution is the third in Missouri this year and among 5 taking place nationwide across a 7-day span. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, a little gloomy for us during the afternoon hours. Had a little bit of sun during the morning hours, some light showers passing through, but 73 for a high, which we'll take. Average high is 79 degrees out of the upper 90s to near 100 that we had just a few days ago. Joplin 59, 60 is where we stand in Pittsburgh. Most of us upper 50s to lower 60s outside for us right now. Temperatures will drop back into lower 50s later on tonight, but we do heat back up a little bit, just back to average as we go through the next couple days. Upper 70s for highs on Wednesday. We're going to go upper 70s once again on your Thursday, so we get some pretty nice weather across the region. We do still have some light little showers kind of drifting through, so we'll have a few sprinkles over the next few hours. A little bit of fog building in later on tonight as well. We're going to look at the rest of the week here in just a bit.
See you soon. Barton County, Missouri deputies discovered a suspicious device during a traffic stop. Happened around 3 this afternoon. Authorities closed traffic in the area for about 3.5 hours. The Springfield Fire Department bomb squad inspected the device and discovered it was, in fact, an explosive device. They rendered it safe, transported it to their facility. 1 man is in custody and formal charges are pending. No one was injured. Search and rescue crews in Berry County respond to an alert of 2 adults lost in part of the Mark Twain National Forest. The alert came in just after 1 this morning. Search and rescue crews responded with equipment and a canine to the Piney Creek Wilderness area of the park. Crews found the pair okay at around 5:40 this morning. A Pittsburgh woman believes her lease is no longer being renewed because she reported mold concerns at her home. Susan Ledbetter has lived at the Pittsburgh Highland development for the past 6 years. She says she struggles with mold every year, an issue KOAM reported on back in 2019 when the development was under different management. In August, Ledbetter says the mold was the worst she's seen it. The owners moved her into a hotel while even her floors had to be replaced. Since then, she says she received a notice that her lease is no longer being renewed. She believes it's because she has reported the issues with mold. She says other tenants have similar concerns but are now fearful to speak up.
The thing is, we were getting sick. It was disgusting in here, and it's flat out wrong to treat people like that. But you're mad at me because I asked you to do something you should have done in the first place. It's your job. I mean, if I could fire them for not doing their job, they would have been fired 6 years ago because they don't do anything.
We reached out to the Moline Management Company who manages the development for a statement. The CEO says any mold issues at the development have been resolved. He says the company is not the true owners of the property but declined to provide further information about the ownership. A major piece of road work appears to be nearing a finish line. Crews have been busy widening Connecticut Avenue in Joplin from 2 lanes to 5 with walking paths on both sides from 32nd to 38th Street. The project stems from the passage of the capital improvement sales tax back in 2004 and renewal in 2014 and 2024. Completion of that project is expected by mid-November. It's an exciting time here at KOAM. For months now, our crews have been working behind the scenes, preparing to bring you a whole new way to receive the 4 states' #1 news station. It's our brand new 24-hour streaming service, the KOAM Plus app. And who better to introduce it than our new streaming anchor, Jordan Keys.
I am here in the KOAM Plus Digital Center, where every day we'll be working to share with you live news updates, breaking news, and weather forecasts from the Skywatch weather team. This is my workspace and where a lot of that content starts, and it's all designed to make sure that you can stay up to date with the news and weather in a different, easy way. So what can you get from KOAM Plus? Well, you can get and stay informed. We've overhauled our streaming efforts to bring you top-of-the-hour live updates, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. The free app is the best way to get the news that matters to you on your time 24/7. In addition to streaming our regular morning and evening newscasts for free, you'll get live updates throughout the day with the most up-to-date information on stories that matter to you. The new look of KOAM Plus also has a graphic with live radar information and forecasts for cities around the 4 states anytime you turn it on. You can also see updated headlines of the day scrolling below. One of my favorite parts of the app is the on-demand content. All our videos live here, and you can watch past special reports, in-depth interviews, and exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. And if you don't have a connected TV, don't worry. You can always watch the stream on KOAM Plus anytime. KOAM Plus powers the stream on the KOAM News Now app and on KOAMNewsNow.com. I'm Jordan Keys, KOAM News Now.
You're going to be able to watch the new streaming player on all KOAM digital platforms. Yeah, we're excited. You should be too. A new study looks at the obesity rate in the U.S. That's coming up. But up first, a class in Oklahoma looks to preserve the Quapaw language for future generations. Quapaw Nation kicks off the first day of the tribe's language classes today. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke with members of the tribe about the importance of keeping the Quapaw language alive.
Mary Jacobs, the instructor of the Quapaw language class, is starting her class off by teaching pronunciation.
So like instead of E being E, it would be an I.
She hopes through her teaching this language, more members of the tribe will be able to express themselves in the language, especially during ceremonies and prayer.
Our children, as they grow up in this language, that they'll be able to speak it as they walk through the door, and that would be their first instinct. Instead of saying hello, they would say "Haway."
To be able to speak with fellow tribal members, or even people who are not tribal in Quapaw, just because it feels really empowering.
Taya Deirdroff, a student of the Quapaw language class, says learning the language helps preserve the culture.
It's the ultimate vessel of our culture. I mean, you know, things come and go, the things around you will eventually deteriorate, but as long as, I mean, the oral tradition is like one of the oldest things in human history.
It's one of the things that cannot be taken away.
One of her goals of teaching this language class, she wants the language to be passed down to future generations and says that learning the language can help younger generations connect with their culture.
Obviously, I'm touched by it, but to hear my children's talk in the language is absolutely amazing.
The Quapaw Language Department will be offering both online and in-person Quapaw language classes. Reporting in Quapaw, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, Quapaw is considered a dormant language, so no one speaks it fluently. One of the goals of the classes is to build toward fluency. Teachers at Joplin's McKinley Elementary School are going to find it a little easier to buy school supplies thanks to a donation. The school gets a $3,000 check from the Subaru Loves Learning Initiative, courtesy of Frank Fletcher Subaru. The money will be shared among teachers to spend on supplies from select vendors associated with the program.
We are not selfish in that manner one bit. We are big on our community, and McKinley has been our school of choice for, I want to say, the last 8 years now. Now, mind you, this is my first year doing it because I've only been in the position for 11 months now. But yeah, so McKinley's been our top choice.
Another $3,000 gift will go toward a software system in place at McKinley that helps staff and students stay safe during arrival and departure times. A little later, a new study looks at whether there's an autism link for babies born during the pandemic.
Plus, our temperatures are going to warm back up just a little bit. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, of course, it turned out to be at least a nice day temperature-wise. High temps into lower 70s. A lot of clouds, few random light little showers, and we still have a couple little showers out there right now. Nice shot. Here is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperatures, not bad, kind of cool. Anywhere from 62 in Neodesha, Pittsburgh at 60, 60 in Miami Grove, 62. Bentonville 62, Anderson 62, Lamar checking in at 58 degrees. And we've had some dying light little showers. We had a batch that rolled through earlier, and then a dying batch out there right now, just a couple sprinkles south of Nevada, north of Viola. And that is really about it. All the bigger storms have kind of been down to our south. Oak City had a pretty good supercell earlier into eastern parts of Oklahoma. But this is an upper level wave rotating through. Look at the big spin north of Salt Lake. So that's a big dome of high pressure. It forces the air mass into Canada and then down, which ushers in that more comfortable fall-like air mass. We're also tracking her soon-to-be Hurricane Helene. It's right now is a tropical storm. It's going to take a glancing blow right on Cancun and then track north, then northeast Category 1 up to Category 2. It's very warm Gulf waters, possibly a Category 3 making landfall here in about 48 hours. Then we're going to watch where the remnants of Helene wants to go because it's going to lift into Georgia and start to lean back toward the west. It's kind of interesting because the wave we have on us right now, area of low pressure, watch our hurricane come in. Now they're going to pivot around each other. It's called the Fujiwara effect. We don't see it very often in the lower 48, but if you take a center point, these two systems will actually pivot around each other, and then this area of low pressure will kind of grab the moisture from what's left of Helene. The problem is the area of low pressure is just a hair too far east. If it can move back to the west a little bit, it'll give us some rain. If it stays steady where it is right now, the rain knocks on the doorstep on Friday and then puts the brakes on. So the better chances for rain, Bella Vista, Monette, Springfield, Branson, points east, but we'll keep slight chances for rain in. So I think beneficial rain from Helene is mainly going to be central, eastern parts of Missouri, but we'll see how it shakes out over the next couple days. All right, for you tonight, we are going to get some patchy fog building back in like we saw last night, kind of thick in spots during the morning hours, burning off. Lower 70s by noon, sunshine, high temp 77, 78, so it looks pretty good. All right, Wednesday night, kind of cool again, lower 50s, maybe a little bit of patchy fog, and then we bounce right back into the upper 70s for highs on Thursday. So the next couple days looking great. 55 in the morning, 73 by noon, high temp 78 degrees during the afternoon, 77 on Thursday. I'm going to keep these slight chances for rain in on Friday and Saturday. Fingers crossed, but it's not looking overly likely right now, but we'll still watch it. Temperature is great through the period, back to 81 on Monday, but overall, very nice fall-like weather. And as most people say around here, we go from summer to winter. So when we get a week or two of 70s, make sure you enjoy it.
And it might be only a week or two, so we certainly will. Thanks, Doug. Babies born during the COVID-19 pandemic do not have a higher rate of autism. Researchers at Columbia University looked at nearly 2,000 children born between 2018 and 2021 and found no significant difference in the rate of positive screenings for autism. The study also turned up no difference for children born to mothers who were infected with COVID-19 during pregnancy. More than 40% of adults are obese. That's according to a new report from the CDC. 40%, more than 40%. The agency says the obesity rate has not changed significantly over the past decade, but the prevalence of severe obesity has risen from 7.7% to 9.7%. Obesity increases the risk of hypertension, type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, stroke, and certain cancers. Nursing shortages can lead to more deaths. A study published in the British Journal of Surgery found the relative risk of mortality increases 9% each day that staffing levels are below average. Patients also face longer hospital stays and worse outcomes, as well as a rise in deep vein thrombosis, pneumonia, and pressure ulcers. A new study found nearly 200 chemicals connected to breast cancer are used to make food packaging and plastic tableware, and dozens of those carcinogens can migrate into the human body. According to the study, 40 of the recently detected chemicals in food packaging are already classified as hazardous by regulatory agencies around the world. The FDA has come under fire for its failure to act quickly on health concerns about some 14,000 chemicals known to be added to food. Still ahead, Missouri Southern women's golf finishes play in the MIAA Conference Preview, and Neosho and Joplin score off on the softball diamond. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
If you've been injured,
Neosho High School softball continues the defense of its 2023 Central Ozark Conference Championship on the road this evening. The Lady Wildcats travel to Joplin, and it's Teacher Appreciation Night in Joplin. The Lady Eagles host Neosho. Top of the first inning, runner on second, and Carly Kennard drives one straight away to center. That's gone for a 2-run home run. Kennard, the starting pitcher, helps out her own cause. It's 2-0. Bottom of the first, runner on third, and Jaden Pankow hits it sharply into left field. That's one of 3 Joplin runs scored that inning. Next inning, Pankow at the plate again, skies it to shallow right, and that'll drop down. Joplin, after trailing 2-0, now leads 6-2, but far from finished in that frame. Lily Glover then knocks this one into the gap in right center field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Maria Loom comes in to score. Glover hustles into third with a triple. Neosho scores 4 runs in the top of the 7th, but it's not enough. Joplin takes it 11-8. Busy evening for Missouri High School softball. In the Big 8, Monette earns a road win over Seneca 5-1. Cubs have now won 4 of their last 5. Then McDonald County beats Cassville 7-3. That snaps a 3-game losing skid for the Lady Mustangs. They're at home once again tomorrow. That's against Ozark. Well, Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State men's golf both finish up play on the second day of the MSSU Invitational this afternoon. Same is true for Missouri Southern women's golf. They're up in Nebraska at the MIAA Fall Conference Preview. We'll start on the men's side. Here's a look at the leaderboard of that tournament, which features 16 teams. Arkansas Fort Smith takes first, followed by Arkansas Tech. Then a 3-way tie for third place, and Pittsburgh State ends up tying for 10th place. Remember, the Gorillas are in their first year back as an NCAA program since 2014, a 10-year break, and Missouri Southern ties for 13th. Individually, Southern and Pitt State each have 1 golfer inside the top 20 of the field. That's Ben Markman for the Lions, Carson Towey for the Gorillas. Total of 84 golfers compete in this event over the past 2 days. Pittsburgh State also has Mason White and Keaton Thisson, each of them inside the top 40. Missouri Southern women's golf over in Kearney, Nebraska. They're in the MIAA Fall Conference Preview. 15 teams participating there. Lions finished 5th as a team in the final round this afternoon. Central Missouri takes first place. They had a 9-stroke lead on the rest of the field. Here's the individual leaderboard there. Shayla Nordland from Fort Hays State takes first at 1 over. Missouri Southern with 3 golfers inside the top 20. Marin Harlow leads the way. She's in 7th place, shoots a 2-day total of 6 over par after going 1 over today. Major League Baseball, Royals coming down the stretch of the regular season. Just 6 games to go, including tonight. They win in D.C. 1-0 the final score in 10 innings. Very important because it snaps a 7-game Royals losing streak. and it coincides with the Twins and Mariners both losing. As we come on the air, the Royals have a 1.5 game lead for the third wild card spot. Kind of felt it slipping away from the Royals a little bit. 7-game losing streak. They were in the second wild card spot. Now they're in the third. But a win tonight definitely helps.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they're secure for the playoffs, but it sure helps their chances a lot. We'll be right back. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? Yeah, well, lemonade is exactly what 12 students were making and selling at the Girard Farmers Market this afternoon. The students are part of an entrepreneurship program that started with lessons about the process of getting a bank loan and ends with, hopefully, a profit for each of them at their own lemonade stand.
The money that they make today for Lemonade Day is going to go to pay back their loan. So we walked them through what it means to take out a loan through a bank, and they each took $25 loans out. So they'll go back and they'll pay that back to the bank, and then everything else that they get is theirs.
Lemonade Day is a program that more than 1.5 million children in 3 countries have participated in. The profit generated by the Lemonade Day is more than $270 million. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of lemonade.
Yes, it is.
Lemonade is never bad. It's always good.
I agree, no matter the weather. Even when it's going to be relatively cool, it's just going to be in the days ahead.
Yeah, it's a chilly start. We're going to be into lower 50s, some patchy fog. 78 tomorrow, 77 Thursday. Slight chance for a few showers Friday and Saturday.
Final sports notes.
I was mentioning baseball earlier. The Houston Astros win tonight. That wraps up their 7th AL West title in the last 8 years. Kind of reminds me of what the Chiefs have done with the AFC West.
You're right. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.